Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video, in which we are going to discuss the inspection of the pharmaceutical manufacturer. Inspection of the pharmaceutical manufacturer. According to the WHO, it can be defined as monitoring the quality of the pharmaceutical products in distribution channels from the point of the manufacturer to delivery to the recipient as a way of eliminating the hazard process. Also, it can be defined as a group of guidelines intended to promote the harmonization of the pharmaceutical practice among the WHO member states, directed to the government inspectors to help them in evaluating the manufacturer's compliance with the good manufacturing practice. The duration of the inspection may be dependent on the complexity of the company and the purpose of the inspection, but in most of the cases it takes about 5 to 7 days of inspection. The inspector teams. The inspector team usually consists of the following. First of all, the lead inspector who lead the inspection process and completing the report. Second of all, assisting inspectors. Third of all, technical inspectors who are intended or involved with the technical issues. And finally, the observers or the inspector trainee. All the inspection team is bound by obligations of confidentiality. Rule of the inspectors. First of all, the inspectors should review the following: the report and the follow-up actions arising from the previous inspections, any variation to the manufacturing authorization and the product recall initiated since the previous inspection. Second of all, the inspectors should examine the relevant product defects noticed since the previous inspection. Third of all, the inspectors should provide or offer any advice on how to improve the procedures or the process and to offer the assistance which serves the public interest. The primary and the last responsibility of the inspectors is to present and to provide a detailed report about the inspection process and its results. Types of the inspection. Mainly, there are different types of the inspection according to the nature and the objective of the inspection. First of all, the routine inspection. This is a full inspection of all the applicable components of the GMP and may be indicated when the manufacturer has a newly established request a renewal of a license to operate, has introduced a new product lines, and has a history of non-compliance with the GMP. Second of all, the concise inspection. Manufacturers with a consistent record of compliance with the GMP through previous routine inspectors are eligible for concise inspection. The focus of this inspection is limited on a number of the GMP requirements selected as indicator of the overall GMP performance. Third of all, the follow-up inspection or the reassessment. The follow-up visits are made to monitor the result of the corrective actions. They are normally carried out from 6 weeks to 6 months after the initial inspection, depending on the nature of the defect. Fourth of all, the special inspection. Special visits may be necessary to undertake spots following the complaints or the recall related to suspected quality defects in the product. Reports of the adverse reactions of the drug may be indicated that all is not well.
And now we are going to talk about steps of pharmaceutical inspection. Step number 1 is preparing for inspection. Step number 2 is conducting the inspection. Step number 3 is the closing meeting after the inspection. And step number 4, finally, the inspection report. The first step of pharmaceutical inspection is the preparation for the inspection. It begins at the inspector desk where documents related to the company are reviewed, including the manufacturing license, the marketing authorization, complaints, recall reports, results of surveillance tests, self-inspection reports, and finally setting an inspection plan. The second step is conducting the inspection itself, keeping in mind that the inspection may be announced or unannounced. The first step is an inspection meeting between the inspector, the company management, and the company representative. Second, the inspector must keep in mind to follow his plan to avoid fraud or bias. Third and most importantly is the site inspection itself, including the manufacturing, quality control, storage facilities, and also some personnel interviewing to gather more information, the documentation and procedures, and finally, some samples might be taken for government analysis if necessary. The third step is the closing meeting, held also between the inspector, the company representative, and the manufacturing management, where the inspector gives a verbal summary about his inspection, some corrective and preventive actions. Last but not least, the inspection report. The inspection report includes observations about the manufacturing process, the deficiencies in the manufacturing process, and this report is viewed by the pharmacist before the manufacturers.
An inspection report. An inspection report, it is a recommended format for used by organization carrying out pharmaceutical inspections. The aim of this inspection is to sure interchange practice of informing report to facilitate joining and information sharing between each company. Second, the scope. The scope, it is apply of inspection report that have been done by pharmaceutical companies on their finished pharmaceutical product, active ingredients in form of separated inspection templates used for quality control laboratories and research organizations. Third, the glossary. Glossary is composed of correction and corrective action, where correction, it is action taken to remove any unconformity on products such as reprocessing of product, designing it to another use, or destroying them. While corrective action, it is a step that is applied to remove and prevent any recurrence of any source that lead to undesirable condition and nonconformity. Number 2, deficiency. It is term of non-achieving of requirements. Number 3, observations. It is a declaration of any fact used during inspection process. It may be positive or negative observations, where positive observation is should appear as a description of the producers that the frame is carrying out especially well and might be considered cases of especially good practice of products, while a negative observation is discovery of any resistance to requirements. Number 4, nonconformity. Nonconformity, it is a failure to react with requirements, where requirements are necessary, which is estimated by organizations. There are many types of requirements which are customers, legal, quality, management, process, product, and failure of any these of requirements lead to nonconformity. Fourth, general principles. Inspection principles are done to any pharmaceutical products where inspectors finish their reports. The report must include proposal model, Appendix 1, which is adapted first to regional and national settings, then scope and purpose of inspection, where GMP should be indicated. Report must be prepared in right time by participation of all team of inspection members. Then it's reviewed by quality system of inspectorate. Any observation and non-compliance should be listed in the third part of report, referenced to the relevant according to WHO guidelines, GMP text under marketing authorization. Any deficiency must include risk of corrective and preventive action, products that harmful to customers, health of patients, and also must include recommendation related to regulatory action. Second part, Appendix 2, which provide an example how next inspection date may be determined. And last, model of inspection report. Appendix 1. It consists of 6 parts, including Part number 1, general information about the company, which include manufacture details, inspection details, introduction, and a brief report of inspection activities undertaken. Part number 2, brief summary of findings and recommendation. Part number 3, a list of deficiencies. Part number 4, outcomes. Part number 5, list of GMP guidelines referenced in the inspection. Part number 6, assessment of companies, response to final conclusion, risk ratio, and next due date. Appendix number 2. It is an example of risk category assessment of site depending on the level of complainants and inspection frequencies. Thank you.